YouTube, what goes on? And welcome back to Disavowed Action Figures, bringing you some spooky season Halloween content here on a nice, warm, sunny summer day in Allentown, Pennsylvania at Dorney Park in Wildwater Kingdom on Labor Day weekend. It is a packed park, and we're here to basically give you a preview of all the decor, decorations, and updates that Dorney has done in the past 2 weeks to prepare for Halloween Haunt. Yes, here on the channel, we typically cover action figures, pop culture, toys, that sort of stuff, but in spooky season, we get scary and hit up all these different Halloween hunts and Halloween haunts. So today, checking out Dorney Park to see what's inside, giving you a bit of a preview here on Labor Day weekend. We're going to see what's out there, all sorts of decorations and such. But again, we'll see what's inside as we head into Haunt, which will be kicking off September 15th, less than 2 weeks away. Can you believe it? Spooky season is here. But before we get to any of that, if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you. It does not cost you anything. And it helps us grow the channel tremendous in March to 5,000 subscribers. Let's see what they have inside. So the carousel's right behind me, but you can see they have the Halloween Haunt logos and decorations and flags out on the poles. So again, that's the first decoration I've noticed that's technically new inside the park, right where we walked in. But this year, if you've come to Haunt in the past, there'll be a major change to how they're presenting the show. We'll talk about that right now. So here in the main area in the front of the park, right where you enter by the carousel, you can see we do have some signage for Halloween Haunt, but spin move back behind. This year, they'll be utilizing this main stage. This has been up the entire summer. It was used for essentially their Mardi Gras event they do every year, where they have live events and music. It's usually not utilized beyond that. However, this year, they are keeping this in the front of the park, where they'll be doing the main stage show for the show. And we'll show you actually, there's a lower stage area or a performance area where they have acrobatics down in the lower part of the park, and they're building a new roller coaster. So that main section of the park is closed this year, from what I understand, moving forward. And they're going to be moving that performance area up to where this stage used to be utilized for the main show. So again, you'll have the carousel in the background, I presume. Also, you can see up top, we do have some Halloween decor as well up there on the top of the carousel. So let's keep walking around and see what we can find. One of the first things that catch my eye here is the freaking monster truck. This has been out the last few years. It is incredible to see. They always have all the skeletons obviously decorated all over the darn thing. So this definitely tells you it is becoming Halloween Haunt season when this is on display already. And at night, when this thing is, when it's lit up out here and it's dark, this looks so cool on display in the center of the park. So this guy, yet again, forgot to get out of the way as the truck went by. And here's going to be one of the seasonal bars slash restaurants, I would presume, right in front of the swing area. And last year, down this direction, they had a scare zone. I'm curious to see if there's anything set up for the scare zone yet. So I had mentioned earlier in the video that they were moving the acrobatics display from the lower section of the park up here. And this is where the main stage used to be. Now they're using the main stage in the front of the park. But yeah, they've gone all pirated out here. The pirate ships, everything around. And again, they do have the pirate theme every year, at least since I've been here, for the acrobatics, but they brought up all the different ships. So very cool to see all these here on display. And again, at night, these are so cool when they're lit up. There's pirates interacting with you. Also, port of call, this pub is, again, usually with this setup down below in that lower section. And then beyond it, you can see this is the stage where they're gonna be doing the acrobatic show, the skeleton crew. So that's very cool every year to see. I'm guessing that will not be in operation while that's going on. That's typically closed when they're doing the main show in the past. But yeah, port of call, they basically have seasonal beers and such here. But again, the whole pirate section's been moved up here to the top, and it's cool. Change can be cool sometimes, right? But again, very awesome to see all this on display already here on Labor Day weekend in Allentown, Pennsylvania at Dorney Park. I just thought I'd take a closer look here at the other pirate ship, which right now is being utilized by most of the patrons here for shade. But eventually, again, this will look fantastic at night. I love seeing the flags blowing in the wind today on this hot Labor Day weekend. I can't wait for Haunt, though. It's going to be awesome. So we also have these spooky Halloween barrels that are out. And what they've done in the past, this was used as an access point for all of the different scare actors to walk through the park and come up to you at the main stage. But now that the main stage is moved, I'm guessing they won't be using it for that purpose. This section is actually usually Carnival, which is more of like a scary kind of clown scare zone. But who knows, I might get moved this year too. We'll have to wait and see. And another possible subtle change, which isn't too subtle, it's a giant friggin' decoration. This, I think, used to be in the front of the park, right where you would enter. So I'm wondering if because of the main stage show going on up there, they moved this down there as a photo op. But as you can see, appropriately named, Haunt is coming soon. So something to point out, which was a lot of fun last year, they have the Great Pumpkin Fest. They do have a Charlie Brown theme here at Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom, September 16th through October 29th. It's an event during the day where you can bring the kids in. There's trick-or-treating, there's a petting zoo, there's I believe some obviously rides, other appropriate activities. I think there were some artistic coloring things last year, but a nice little event to bring the family to if you have little ones. I know my niece and nephew loved it, so we'll be back again this year as well. And then the spooky stuff happens at night when that's all over. All right, so now the pieces are slowly coming together. So last year, this was a brand new scare zone that was developed, Dystopia, which basically was like a post-apocalyptic end of the world sort of deal, right? Dudes with chainsaws running around, everything else, very Mad Max-like. So of course they weren't gonna scrap this, so it looks like they brought it down to the lower section, which again is where in the past, I think this section was more of like an evil fairy tale sort of section of the park with like different characters running around, things like that. But again, looks like Dystopia obviously is being reused and is brought down to the bottom of the park. This is one of the coolest scare zones they had last year in terms of decorative stuff. It wasn't really scary. It was kind of odd because all the scare actors were actually out in the center, not back with all this stuff. So I think this will actually allow for a better utilization of the scare actors in this section of the park with all these different sections set up. But again, really cool. It looks like this is also be another bar down this way, drink up. So they added a bar. I guess there was a bar in this section last year as well, as my memory recollects. But this be a nice big section here of a scare zone. But we're getting to the part of the park, which is my favorite part of the scare zone. Very Sleepy Hollow feel in the next section, assuming it's where it was last year. It is so loud and I love it. Okay, so this is Roadside Stop and Shop. This was another haunt last year we really enjoyed. Kind of like a down south kind of haunted house feel to it. Country area gone wrong, House of a Thousand Corpses vibes, but it's a lot of fun. And again, can't see too much here, but obviously the signage is all right. So probably, I want to call it my favorite scare zone, but there's one other one that I really enjoy that's here. This is typically like a Sleepy Hollow kind of colonial feel to it, where there's just piped with fog in this section, and there's like colonial looking scare actors walking around, usually like literally about probably thousands of pumpkins on display. So I'm hoping that's still the case, and they just haven't put everything out yet because it is a very involved section, a lot on display. So hopefully that's going to be the case, that they are bringing that back this year, because this had a fun, again, colonial vibe to it, which I really enjoyed. And again, I'll link some of the videos down below to what it looked like last year if you're curious to see. But I'm thinking based on the trees and such, they will still be having the same scare zone area back here again this year. But yeah, let's keep walking around the park and see if there's anything else we can find that looks spooky. All right, so this is meant to piggyback on my earlier comments about the major changes they've made this year. So in the past, this would have been where all of the pirate ships and that sort of scare zone area with that bar would be, right back here by Possessed. It was actually really cool. It's tucked in this back corner here where all these tables are, because you can actually enjoy people on Possessed screaming, and it's kind of added a fun element to it. But again, they have decided to scrap that because I believe it's because of what I'll show you momentarily, which is a new roller coaster they're currently starting to build here at Dorney Park, and that thing is amazing every time I see it. So Iron Menace was recently announced, and I believe there's actually going to be a haunt that provides the backstory to the ride, which is absolutely ingenious if you ask me, to include that as basically marketing for this. It's opening up in 2024, and it's going to be an insane freaking roller coaster. I guess it's going to be the 95-degree drop, which is the craziest thing about it. 64 miles an hour, and then down here they actually have some video animatronic of it as well. I shouldn't say animatronic video, I should say. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the house that goes along with this to provide the backstory. You can see these construction walls were put in. These are obviously typically not here. These are all here to, I guess, provide the barrier for the building of the new roller coaster. And then also, it also affected the Zephyr, which is their little mini train. I actually did a video, the last ride of the Zephyr, because at the time I didn't know if it was going to reopen or not. Sounds like it's just a seasonal closing for now. But again, the reason I continue to walk back this direction is past the flyers in the past was a house, which you can see right back there. That was the house. And actually it was more of an outdoor section, I think. I might be mixing it up with another one. There's one with like mirrors and things with optical illusions, but I think this is cool. Upon further inspection, this appears that it's going to be the house that's tied into the backstory of the new roller coaster, which is going to be freaking really cool. So this is all redone stuff or newly made things back here. But you can see we do have the Steel Company logo here out front, and I believe that is going to be the tie-in to the roller coaster. So very cool to see this cool looking facade. This will be an awesome new house for 2023 that we're really looking forward to getting in. All right, so now my memory's kicking in. So this is Necropolis. This would be the section where for the house, it's more of an outdoor trail where they do have the cemetery you walk through. And again, it's a blast. It's a lot of fun, always a long wait. But yeah, this is the one I was thinking about earlier in terms of the outdoor walk through regarding the cemetery. A lot of fun. Looking forward to this one being back again this year. And these are awfully cool too, these like lantern looking deals. So these are all through this section of the park down here. And I don't remember these being here other years. So it's definitely cool to see something possibly new added. And again, if my memory is failing, man, they've been here other years. Let me know in the comments, but they look cool. Gears. Then this is another haunt back here. Trick or Treat. Very much your more typical haunted house feel. I mean, obviously by the facade, it's a house, right? So again, a lot of fun, but this does bring me to the point which isn't the most fun, which is you're gonna wait in long lines. It really might behoove you if it was within your means to pick up the fast pass essentially for the event, because it's a long night. There's a lot to see and get through. Depending what time of year you come, obviously the earliest ones are very busy and the latest ones are very busy. So maybe like early October isn't as bad with wait times and such. But last year, you know, we do have season passes, so we don't need to pay to get into the event due to the season passes. However, you know, you have to pay the extra money to get that fast pass add-on. So really, and they call it their fright lane. There it is right there. So not a bad idea to spring for that fright lane if it's something that you can afford to do, because they'll save you a lot of time in the long run. Okay, so for some context, Steel Force is behind me, as well as that haunted house I just showed. This would be Necropolis. You can just kind of basically make out the top of it. But again, that whole back section in there basically is all tombstone, cemetery vibe to it. And this would be the entrance right here to Necropolis as well. So one underrated area, in my humble opinion, of Halloween Haunt is this entire walkway back here beside Steel Force. This is a really cool area. It's well lit. You can see the lights are out, and it just has a very spooky feel to it. And in the past, there was actually a scare zone that I loved called the Lair at the end of this, which we'll see if that's there momentarily. All right, so much to my chagrin, it looks like the Lair will not be a part of Haunt this year unless it's in a different part of the park. The Lair was incredible. Again, I'll link my videos from the last couple of years down below. But they do have a lot more of the skeletons that they usually had on the top of the park in the past. So we'll take a look at these as we walk through here. So again, I am kind of enjoying the kind of refreshed vibes that the park had to go to accommodate for the building of the new roller coaster. But I love these guys. They're seasonal. They're not necessarily spooky, but when the front lighting comes on or the low lighting comes on these things, they look freaking incredible. And there's a lot of fun this time of year for sure. And they're all in different poses, which I guess bring out a different type of emotion in each skeleton that you see. But they're a lot of fun. This was also a house last year. It was kind of like a hunter's club or something. So a lot of like animals and things like that inside. I don't know if it's here again this year. I think this might tie in with it, the Treasures of Art, but time will tell. Let me know in the comments. And tucked away over here, just outside of Planet Snoopy, we got this guy, and he's back. So again, it's a kind of cool, nice photo op that they do put out here for Haunt. That's out, you know, the rest of the year till they close the park, basically. And of course, we're at an amusement park, so we got to check out some merch. And they already have the official Iron Menace merch out. So they have some t-shirts coming in 2024. Forge your own fate. I love that catch line, tagline, and then down below, we of course have the tumblers. So you gotta have a tumbler or a mug, right? But yeah, cool to see this stuff out already. And what better way to push something new than to push some merchandise for it? So yeah, and I could be wrong, but I believe this is the building that they utilize for the all black house. They completely black it out. There's no lights inside. There's people walking around in black cloaks messing with you. I hated it 2 years ago. Never went in it again. The GF agreed. She wanted nothing to do with it either. Very kind of creepy, not like a fun creepy way, in like a, you know, is somebody gonna come over and do something weird kind of way. But I'm pretty sure you filter your way through this building, which is beside the different carnival games. And I think it spits you out back here and you come out beside Talon. So let me know in the comments if you were in that house in the past. Am I recalling this correctly or not? And this has absolutely nothing to do with Halloween. I just happen to think that this is awesome to watch. And multiple times every summer, I just gotta chill and just take it all in. And remember that it's still Labor Day weekend and it's time for summer. No, I've never gone on this before. I don't even want to get that wet in the shower, let alone on a ride. And the last house, I believe, unless I missed any, and quite possibly my favorite, albeit it's a very solid favorite on this, is Blood on the Bayou. This is a New Orleans style, New Orleans, Louisiana style house. I won't say anything's gonna ruin it inside, other than the fact that it brings a lot of the lore of NOLA into it. And it's cool for me because I actually was in New Orleans right before the pandemic broke out for my one of my best friend's bachelor parties. And it was my first time there. The music, the food, everything about it was fantastic. And every year when I walk through this house, it reminds me of it a lot. So Blood on the Bayou, definitely one of the best houses here, at least that I enjoy at Halloween Haunt at Dorney Park. All right, we're going to call it a day there. So hopefully this little Dorney Park Haunt 2023 preview / talk has helped you out regarding what to expect at the show. If you go to this every year, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what I missed. I'm sure I missed an awful lot. I've been going to this thing for maybe 3 or 4 years. So again, I'm sure I missed a lot about what went on here at the Haunt in the past. So let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us grow the channel tremendously and march to 5,000 subscribers. Again, we'll be doing Halloween hunts and Halloween haunts starting now all the way through October at Halloween. So very excited. So hit that subscribe button if you are new. That way you will be notified when we post new content here on the channel. And if you like weekly toy hunt reviews and live streams, we post those weekly as well. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Stay healthy. I'll be seeing all of you at the park.